welcome to the live stream. So today, or yesterday actually, is exactly 365 days ago that I moved to Portugal. So I thought I do a little live stream today to celebrate it. I'm still planting a few stuff here in the garden. I'm working away. So I've been planting some peas over there and some sunflowers. I got a few more things to plant, so I'm gonna do that quick. And then, yeah, I love to talk about the first year living off grid and about, some things I've been thinking about lately, about self-sufficiency and so on. And if you want to ask some questions, we have time for that too. So, yeah, just quickly gonna plant that and then I'm coming back to you. So I planted some cucumbers over there. Yeah, it's a lovely time here, starting to plant loads of stuff. I'm gonna just set you guys up here. It's been a while since I did a live stream, so just gonna check out. So yeah, it's pretty hot at the moment. Today is actually okay. It's been more than around 30 degrees in the last few days. So summer is around the corner. Last year I arrived here at this time of year and it was already totally different. We have had quite a bit of rain in the last few months, and it feels much more damp and humid than it did last year. When I arrived here it was already quite dry. Like when I was trying to dig the soil to make a garden, yeah, it was like trying to turn rock, you know. It was like really hard and compacted already from the sun, so that's a big difference. With this year the soil is still very wet and soft, so that's lovely. Perfect time to get everything into the soil. There's still water available. Yeah, so that's a big difference. But overall it's been I'm pretty happy with the last year, what I've done here. And yeah, it's been an amazing year. I learned so much in the last year, and I grown a lot as a person as well in the last year. I can really feel that it's had quite a big impact on my life, and yeah, I think for me personally, all the better, you know. But I thought, yeah, today that I will make some topic to talk about, that it's not just random talk. And yeah, I thought, you know, one of the things maybe that I miss the most sometimes is talks and discussions with my friends. There's people around here where I can talk with and have lovely conversations with, but sometimes I miss like the reasoning and the deeper conversations a bit. and yeah, I thought maybe I'd try to do it on here, you know. And on my last video there were some comments about, you know, self-sufficiency, and how the one person is saying that everybody should live like that and the world would be a better place, and another person saying that that's a utopia, that it cannot be reached. And I think that's a really interesting topic, because for me personally, I really want to be as self-sufficient as possible. I do know and realize that it is something really, really difficult to get to. Like, we use so many industrial products all the time that, you know, you cannot make all those things on your own. Like, even for watering the garden, I'm using plastic hose. You know, my shoes that I'm wearing are made of plastic. So yeah, a lot of synthetics everywhere. And I know that is something really difficult, but I believe that when it comes to food, that you can get really, really far with it and become like really self-sufficient in that way, providing your own food. And that's something I really want to focus on in the next year. Next to a vegetable garden, I also have the animals, my sheep, and we will probably look for a pig as well, for the meat, and then some chickens and all that, you know. So the trick is not to buy into the food as well for the animals, so that you can be self-sufficient when it comes to food as well. So there's going to be a challenge as well to grow maybe crops for some of the animals that they can eat, or go and forage for acorns for the pigs, for example. When it comes to clothes, you know, I think you can do some things. I have sheep, so that means I also can have wool. I don't see myself spinning wool or sitting down to make a sweater or anything like that, but it would be a lovely thing to do, or to have somebody around that does that. I think that would be perfectly possible. I know my neighbor that you have seen in some of my videos, Vera, she does that with her sheep and the wool. She sometimes makes clothes for herself and for her man, and yeah, I think that's amazing. So yeah, self-sufficiency, like in the broader sense, that's something really difficult to reach. But then there's so much benefits as well for me personally. It makes me stronger mentally as well. It gives me a purpose and something to think about all the time, and to be innovative in a way, and to be creative. And I personally think a lot of people would benefit from doing that, or living a lifestyle like I'm doing here. I know for a lot of people it might be quite radical, but I really think when it comes to like a lot of people's their mental health and their yeah, that it would just help them a lot, you know. It gives you a purpose, it gives you something to do, and you are much more connected with your surroundings and with nature, and that just makes you a better human, I think. I mean, I know a lot of people always comment that what I'm doing is inspirational, and I also have people that inspire me to do it, and some of them go really far. Like, there's a guy who he's quite known. His name is Mark Boyle. Somebody earlier this week sent me a text because I once sold him the book, one of the books that Mark Boyle written. The book is called My Way Home or The Way Home, I'm not sure, but it's one of my favorite books, really. And Mark Boyle is known as the moneyless man as well. Like 10 years ago, he made a lot of news headlines because he rejected like any currency and wanted to live without money. And he did that for a while. and out of that experience, something grew in him that he wanted to go and live much more simple. And years later, he bought a piece of land somewhere in Ireland to go and live without any modern technology. And I think that's a very radical something to do, but it makes your life also really interesting in a way. It's a beautiful book, and I would recommend anybody to read it. It's also a lot about Irish folklore and so on. And yeah, it's something that me personally, I would love to go in that direction, to use as little modern technology as possible. But then again, I'm talking here to you on a phone, so I know that's something really difficult. And I'm using a chainsaw all the time. I'm using my wood chipper over here all the time. Those are all modern day conveniences and like machinery that I really enjoy as well using. They're great tools. But I just love the simple life, you know. It's yeah, I feel stronger after a year living like this. I feel more healthy. I feel more mentally capable as well. And yeah, I see, like around here, for example, I see a lot of people that come and live off grid in a way, but they still do it in a way that they want all the modern conveniences, you know, and it costs them loads of money, and it forces them to just in a way stay in the rat race. And for me, I mean, my greatest blessing really is that I'm not stuck in the rat race, that I am a free man, and that I can try and grow produce and make produce and sell those produce and be independent in a way, not having to worry too much about money. However, I have a little bit of stress about money this month. I've been struggling a bit with the vet and so on, vet bills that keep on piling up, but yeah, it's but yeah, like I said, a lot of people, they buy a huge piece of land and they just build like a very fancy house. And fair enough, you know, everybody has his own way of living and what kind of luxury you want in life. But I think if you want too much of the modern day luxury, then you still keep stuck in that system. You still have to make so much money or have to be so rich that it becomes really difficult to experience what I'm experiencing here. You know, every day I'm able to, you know, just right here, there's the stream. You know, I just enjoy every day taking my bath in there, taking a little dip, waking up by the sun, looking outside to my plants, going and see my animals, just the simple things. And yeah, it's like I said, I would recommend anybody doing it. I know a lot of people are struggling. Like before I came here, I wasn't really struggling or depressed or anything, but I also wasn't really like happy. And I must say, like, I feel much, I wouldn't say happy, but much more content, you know, with my life now. I have a pretty good life. I can't complain at all. I know every day that the next day I will be fine. So I don't have anything to worry about. Sometimes my animals are a bit of a worry, but that's something else. And yeah, you know, the freedom and the liberty has been really amazing. And it's done a lot for me personally when it comes to my mental health as well, and you know, just feeling good and feeling healthy and feeling, yeah, capable. And challenging myself and so on. So I would definitely recommend it, doing something like this, even if it's not for the rest of your life. I'm not planning to live here for the rest of my life either. This is just a temporary phase that I'm living here. But I see a lot of people are always waiting as well. Like a lot of comments on my videos are always about that one day they hope to live a lifestyle like this, or I would recommend do those people, don't wait for it. Don't wait for it too long. Don't try. If you're like me and you're coming from a poor background, then you know it's always going to be difficult to have enough money for the dream piece of land that you always wanted. It's possible. I see a lot of people do it, but I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't advise anybody to wait. Just go for it, and there's going to be loads of opportunities. Like since the day I arrived here, I always had loads of opportunities for more land. I've been offered more land and places to go and live and stay because people see what I'm doing and they would love somebody like me on their land. So just go out there and do it, you know. Like a lot of people reached out to me as well about coming and living here on this land. That's not always that simple. Like but yeah, like I said, go for it. So yeah. Anyway, guys, let me know if you have any questions or anything. It's been really lovely, like feeling all you guys, their support as well. I didn't know whether this was going to be a success or not, this YouTube channel, or people were going to like it or not. And it's still like a small channel, you know, but I do feel very blessed with a lot of you. You give a lot of support to me, you know, even if I don't know you personally. Like a lot of your comments do mean a lot to me, so I really want to thank you. And some of you also have been giving me support financially, which is amazing, like if sending me donations. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. It's been really amazing this year discovering all of you guys. I hope you really, I know you really enjoyed it, and I just hope to reach more and more people, really. Like, yeah, it's something that I really like to do. It's lovely to be able to inspire people and to be, in a way, trying to set an example to create a better world. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that with a lot of you, I would love to have some good talks and discussions, and that we would have like a really good time. So yeah, thank you, thanks for that. So, and if any of you guys have any questions, then for sure let me know. And yeah, the garden is going pretty good as well. Yeah, sounds like hi Joanna 101 Life. Hi, how are you? Swedish Moose from Stockholm, Sweden. Welcome. Sounds like a journey of self-discovery. Good to hear that you have a lot of achievements. This year will be a much better year for you, I am sure. Well, yeah, I mean, when it comes to food and all that, for sure, I'm feeling much more relaxed now. I actually killed, well, I butchered one of the rams this week, which was my first time. Somebody else came with like, how you call them, the bolt guns, with the pin to shoot the ram, and then I butchered the whole ram. It was my first time. I did it. It was sometimes a bit difficult to hold the right cuts, but it was. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, it gives me some kind of food security. Also, the vegetable garden going. I know after summer there's more lambs that I will probably harvest, and then like I said, we will have a pig as well probably. So those are all giving me, like, when it comes to food, not having to worry that I get the money to pay for it. But then what's also been growing steadily is the YouTube income. It's like I don't earn much yet, like, but every little bit that I get is really amazing to me. Yeah, so I think my best month so far, I got like 300 euro. That was probably last month. One of the videos did really well. So yeah, if I can make that more stable thing, then I'm really blessed. Then I don't have to worry about a lot anymore. And yeah, it was definitely a year of self-discovery. I think that's always the case when you're putting yourself in a, how do you say it, like, you know, going out of your comfort zone. Yeah, I mean, I left everything behind. I came here with 1,000 euro in my pockets, and that was it. I had no more money than that, and I still don't have any more money. But I know that I will be fine. It was a big challenge in some ways, but then on the other hand, I always had the confidence that I would be fine and I don't have to worry about that too much. And that's still the mentality that I have. You know, I don't know what costs I will have tomorrow, and I don't have the money for it to pay for it now, but I don't want to worry either about it. And every time I'm running low, then something happens that uh, makes it all alright again. So yeah, it's been pretty good. And self-discovery, like, yeah, of course, if you're doing so much on your own, I mean, I wouldn't want to be always so much on my own for the rest of my life, for example. But I do really enjoy that. Like, I really enjoy spending time on my own, because then you really get to learn yourself, you get to know your limits, you start realizing what you're missing and who you're missing and all those things. So yeah, I mean, I haven't felt lonely here at all. Like, I do miss people sometimes, but yeah, I mean, I'm surrounded here by beauty and by nature the whole time, and there's loads of people around, very nice people. I have great neighbors, and yeah, I'm getting better and better bonds with them as well, and you know, so that's all good. It looks like that I'm very isolated here if you look at my videos, but there's quite a bit people around, so yeah, that's all great, you know. And I have my animals, of course, and the dogs that keep me busy and keep some company. More Swedish people, nice. Yeah, 300 euro, that was quite good. First time indeed was 20 euro somewhere at the end of last summer. I think I made my first 20 euro, and now it's getting up to 300, and yeah, it's pretty good, you know. If I only can find a way to make that every month, then so far I always found like little jobs here and there that I could do to get a little bit of extra money to be able to go and buy food for myself and for the animals. And that's been fine. I've been surviving like that. But I don't like to go out working so much. It's lovely to learn, to meet some new people around here. And usually there's opportunities coming out of those works or out of those jobs as well. So it's not bad, but in a way, every time that I have to go work for a while to get money, then I put way less effort in making the videos. Um, so yeah, and I'm now at the point where it starts to make money, so I actually want to be able to put my full energy into YouTube, you know, because it is a great income, you know. I mean, it's a lot of work, don't get it wrong, and it's not easy to get to a point that you can get monetized. But I also enjoy doing this, you know. I enjoy making the videos. I'm not always the person, as you know, that talks loads in his videos. I don't like that. I'm actually not like a big talker. Most people that know me as a quiet person. Um, and this is like a good talk. I love talking, like a good discussion or just some banter with some friends. But I like making videos. For me, it's a way of expressing myself as well and expressing what I'm doing here. It's a creative process, not only the filming but also the editing and making the thumbnails and all that. So in a way I really enjoy that, but it's also a lot of work. I think if you don't enjoy some of those things, it's really difficult, or even if you don't find the time, it's also difficult. So, and I know, like, you can go back to my first video and it's a huge difference, you know, and I'm quite proud on the videos that I make now. I think there's way much more space for improvements, but I'm pretty happy with how they're doing. I'm not always happy about like the sound quality and all those things. That's something I've been struggling with, but that comes down to the material that I have. So that's another maybe a financial limitation. If I would have the money, I would probably buy better equipment and don't struggle with that. But I mean, it's been going good, so that's how it is. I want to improve, but there's also limitations to what I can do. I love the nature and I'm happy for you. Thank you. Change is not easy. It takes time. It took me 5 years to adapt. Yeah, no, change is not easy, and I think that's something that differs from person to person. I'm somebody who adapts quite well to change, actually. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't want to move here, but if somebody tells me tomorrow I need to move and start all over again, I would be fine. I wouldn't make much fuss of it. Unless I don't have a good place to go to. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it, so I can adapt pretty well. What kind of animals do you have? So when I first got here a year ago, I immediately started looking around for animals. The first thing I got was chickens and turkeys. The chickens are still around, but I'm living on the land of a friend who has a house here up on the mountain, or on the hill here, and the chickens are staying more there around the house because there's dogs there all the time, that usually sleep outside as well, and they keep the predators away. So that's why they don't come so much in my videos anymore, but they're still around. We still have 6 chickens there. I think there were 2 caught by a fox throughout the year, which is not much, you know. Every one you lose is sad, but it's not much. Then I had 2 turkeys as well, and one of the turkeys got caught by the dog from the neighbor who escaped, and the other one I'm not sure anymore. I think I found it back when it's in the summer. Yeah, I found it in the summer. It was having a heart attack, so probably from heat stress or something like that. And yeah, so I don't have turkeys anymore. I do have sheep as well. So originally, first I bought 3 milking sheep. They're a bit older, but they were still in production. And then I bought 2 male lambs, which are a local breed here that are kept for the meat. So my idea was to cross the boat, so I could still have a sheep that's good to milk, but also decent enough to eat. Because the milking sheep are like not really that good if you want to keep them to eat, then they're not gonna be very well. They're gonna be very skinny and tough meat, I think, and probably quite heavy in taste as well. But so now I have so far 2 lambs. I lost 2 lambs as well from one of the sheep, and then there's 1 sheep still pregnant. And next to the sheep I also have a mule, and there's also 2 other horses here on the land. But actually at the moment the horses are at other people's land, because we are giving the land here. So the land is in total 4 hectares, but the last few years it's been all open for grazing for the horses, and it's been really overgrazed. So we're trying to take the pressure off a bit this year from the land to let everything regrow. Otherwise it would have been trouble to have enough feed here. But it's recovering quite good, I would say. Like, we were blessed with a lot of rain as well in the last few months, which made everything grow good. Yeah, there's some spots where the grass is really poor, and that will take a longer time to recover. And yeah, for animals, that's about it. And of course, I have my dog here, Rowan, and then the two puppies. Yeah, of which one originally was going to Belgium, but it looks like I'm gonna stay here. So yeah, that's all the animals we have, or I have. Um, and at the moment, I'm thinking to get some ducks. I love ducks as well, so maybe in one of the coming weeks I will try to get a hold of some ducks and yeah, just expand the sheep herd a bit. So the milking sheep, they're getting quite old, so I'm hoping to get a few female lambs in the coming year, so I can keep those for breeding on, and then the the moms will go into retirement, I think. And yeah, the land can't really support much more animals here, so at the moment that's it. I am dreaming one day to have a few cows as well. I would love, really love some cows, but that's not possible here. Have you checked out the Amazon wish list? Yes, I never heard about it till you mentioned it on one of my last videos. So yeah, I made a list so far. I will post it on here as well. There's not so much stuff on it yet. I haven't had the time to make really a whole list. There's a few things on there that I'm always trying to save to buy, things that I could really use. But I will post it here together, like I put it now in the description, but together with the buy me a coffee link. So yeah, so if anybody ever wants to give donations, you can go through the buy me a coffee link. It it gives me, like, you can also do it on YouTube with the thank you button or the super thanks. But YouTube takes quite a big chunk out of it. I think it's like 30% or something that goes to YouTube. And with buy me a coffee, it's like always the same. I think it's like €1 or something like that they take. It doesn't matter the amount of the donation. I'm not sure. It's something like that. So that, and that way you support me more rather than YouTube. But anyway, it's like people feel, you know. I've been really happy with everything that I've been given so far from you guys, so that's amazing. And yeah, I'm gonna check out that Amazon wishlist. Like I said, there's loads of stuff that I could use, but I usually don't get the money to buy it, you know. Some things that I really need, yeah, that I really need to save for, and that I will have to get at some point. Like at the moment I still don't have electricity in the cabin, but I would love to have like a little power station to have just a little bit, like a light and a place to charge my equipment. So far I'm always doing that up at the house from Valerie, and that's fine. I can use the electricity there, especially in summer. There's always enough electricity. But yeah, things like that, and then yeah, loads of stuff. But anyway, are you breeding chicken? Well, I'm thinking maybe to try. I think Valerie has one of those machines to put eggs and for hatching, a hatching machine. Uh, and I'm thinking maybe to try and use that. I've been waiting the whole time for my chickens to start breeding. I left two of the males, uh, the roosters, alive. So I don't remember exactly how much roosters I got. In the beginning, I was like 8 or 10 roosters, and most of them I ate or we. I also went to the market a few times where we sold chips, and I made like chicken meatballs to go with the chips, and we sold that on the market. So that was a really, like, if I could expand that a little bit, that would be a really good way of making some money too. Like I think I get about, if I make from one chicken meatballs, I think I get like 30 portions or something just from one chicken, and it cost me just basically nothing to raise that chicken, and it only cost me the time, and I made like seven, I think I would say 70 euro profit out of one chicken. So that's a really decent profit. Yeah, yeah. So yo, Dries is asking if I am missing Belgium. So nope, not a little bit. I'm missing friends, of course, and my girlfriend that's still in Belgium. That's something I really miss. Um, yeah, I was involved there in the reggae sound system world and music, and that's something I sometimes miss a little bit, like just because it's been a big part of my life. But no, when it comes to anything else, I don't miss Belgium a little bit. No, like the freedom you get here, it's uh, it's just amazing. You know, it's, you cannot compare it to Belgium at all. Like, I mean, you can do so much things here that you cannot do anymore in Belgium. Like living the way I live here, um, it wouldn't be possible in Belgium. You know, you would already been kicked off, and here, it's like in a somewhat in a grayish zone what I'm doing. Some people would say it's totally illegal. Others would say it's legal. I don't really know, and to be honest, I don't care so much about it. I mean, the police has been here on the land once, and they seen my construction, and they only said like, "Oh wow, that's beautiful." So I don't see any trouble in it. I mean, I can be wrong. Maybe they didn't care about it, but in Belgium, you wouldn't be able to do something like this. So for that reason, I really don't miss it. Like all the laws and regulations you have there, the thing like we do on the market, selling food and all that in Belgium, it comes with so much regulations and stuff. Like you have that here too, but it's not really that people enforce it so much, or I don't know. You know, it's on a totally different level, and I like that a lot. You know, yeah. So I think I don't know where I will end up in the future. Maybe one day I go back to to Belgium, but I don't know. I don't miss it. Know how much weight I lost. It's not only from working my ass off. I worked a lot in Belgium as well. Um, but it's hot here. It's very different climate. You're sweating so much. So, and because the way I'm living here in Belgium, I always had, well, most of the time I had money to go to the supermarket, buy whatever I want, and you know, often you get lazy when you get money and you just go and buy a snack or go and buy whatever shit is available. And here I don't have the money to do that, so I have to cook. And yeah, I do go. I till now I also have to go and buy all my vegetables and all that. But buying vegetable is much cheaper than buying random shit. So that's why I think I lost quite a bit of weight, but it's not something I'm busy with. So any advice for a homeless person who seeks the sun? Well, go to the sun. I always wondered why homeless people stay in the north and live outside in the cold. So yeah, I mean, like I just said in the beginning of the video, just do it. And if you don't have money, don't worry about it. There's plenty of opportunities. You can start by using websites like Workaway or that kind of stuff. I never done it, but I know a lot of people do it, and it's a great way to get to know places like this, little farms or off-grid communities or whatever, and it would give you an insight on other opportunities. And yeah, yeah. So just go for it. Um, I mean, it's really not difficult for me. This life is much more easy than working in the system 9 to 5. That's something I find really difficult to cope with. I'm always been in a way a bit jealous on people who can do it, but I never managed to do it so well. The only thing that where I could do it for a while was with farming, because it was the same. I was just busy with animals, you know, and taking care of them. So, but if it comes to like a real job, I couldn't do it. And for me, this is much easier, and I'm not worried. Like I don't have money, and I don't know when, or you know, like this week, I'm down to like €9, and yeah, I'm probably gonna spend that last €9 tomorrow in the shop to buy some supplies. And yeah, then that's it. But I know probably the day after I will get away, get away, or get some money somewhere, or get a job opportunity, or whatever, you know. So yeah, um, the language barrier for me is quite difficult. Like some people are better than others with language, you know. Like you, I'm a West Vlaming, so I speak a dialect of Flemish, and other than English, I don't really have a language that I stand out in. I can speak English pretty well, and I can speak a little bit of French. I understand a bit of French, but Portuguese is for me like Chinese or Russian. I don't understand a word of it, so that's a bit frustrating to communicate with locals. Some of them are very patient. Like we have a woman here that runs the local shop, an elderly woman. She's really lovely. She helps a lot of the foreigners here. But yeah, talking with the locals, like for example, there's a lot of farmers here, which I would love to talk with and know a bit more about their knowledge, because I don't know anything about this climate here. This is so new to me. I'm just trying. Like this year, I observed a bit what they were doing, and I'm trying to do the same what they were doing on this time last year. And I'm already seeing that some things I'm failing in compared to them. And that if I would speak the language better, that would be much easier, you know. I'm trying sometimes to learn a bit of Portuguese, but I'm really struggling. I know some words, you know, like basic words, but it's it's a difficult language. I mean, like Spanish, for example, I can understand also a little bit of Spanish, but I understand very little of the Portuguese. And yeah, it's something, if I would stay here, if I, like, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stay here, and that's been why maybe I've been putting off learning a bit more Portuguese. If it would be clear in my mind that I would stay here for another 10, 20 years, then I would probably do much more effort in learning Portuguese. And I should really, no matter what, I think if you go and live in a country, you should try to learn to communicate with the locals. On the other hand, it's also been made really easy here because there's so much foreigners now in Portugal. And yeah, like almost all my neighbors are foreigners, and they all speak English or another language, and you end up speaking English to everyone. So in that way, I have enough people to talk with where I can communicate with really well, and that's also been quite important. I think if I would been stuck here on my own, not able to communicate with anybody really because of the language barrier, it would have been much more difficult, but on the same time it would probably also force me to learn more of the local language. So in a way, having all the foreigners around maybe makes me lazy in that way. Would you have taken the journey without knowing anyone? I would have done it, yeah. So my original plan was actually to go with Idna with a trailer and just travel around and see where I would end up, and hopefully I will, with the idea to end up on a place like this. I already done quite a few trips. Well, I did a few trips in my life already, leaving, Belgium, and didn't know where I would end up, and so that's something I'm not really afraid of. I'm not always the most social person, but I'm also not afraid to get out of my comfort zone, and find challenges in life. And yeah, so I would definitely done it. It made it much easier also to start living here. Like, there's already some things done here on the land, like, there is electricity here, for example, which makes it much easier for me. If I want to make these videos and all that, without that it would have been much more difficult. But then I would probably have more priority on getting a power station or something like that, and now I don't. So yeah. Anyway, I think I will wrap it up for now. I mean, guys, once again, thank you for following my journey. It's been an amazing year, and I'm pretty sure that the year ahead will be amazing as well, with a lot of projects coming up. I've been slacking a little bit on working on the house because of other jobs that I was doing, but I'm looking forward to getting stuck in the building again. And yeah, and then probably in summer, well, maybe inside the house I will do something inside the house, but then most bigger other projects that I'm planning will be for after summer, because in a month or two it will be very hot here again, and it will be difficult to get going with big projects. So anyway, 41 and a half, I don't know who you are, but ook goed om u te zien. Yeah, it's nice to see you too. Anyway, guys, peace. Thanks for the whole year. And Beaver, big up Beaver. Nice to see you here. Beaver, always welcome. Yeah, come and have a visit here. I think you would love it here too. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and Probably another video coming up soon. I'm working on it. So anyway, peace.